to the 2023 News and Updates from Engage. Mark's News and Updates brings you the news from around the metaverse. Today is our first event in Engage XR, and we are thrilled to share this moment with you. Since 2018, our team of volunteers has worked hard every week to gather the news you need to know. This is our 226th episode. Yes! Use those emojis. We filmed more than 370 hours of video, hosted over 13,000 attendees. We've waded through more than 7,500 pages of scripts and shown you more than 15,000 slides, and we're still here. We've covered critical stories about cyber attacks, platforms closing, and even real-world news that filters through and into the metaverse. We've covered thousands of events, concerts, classes, virtual worlds, all the XR hardware news you want to know. We've debated copyright infringement, international laws impacting the metaverse, and discussed the standards to protect us all. And let's not forget about the fun stuff, the still silly stuff we bring you each week to ensure you keep guessing and you keep laughing. We do this under the direction of our benevolent dictator, Mark, who works hard behind the scenes to ensure that we stay on track and maintain, some form of decorum. He sometimes forgives us when we have too much fun, which we do all the time. And we could not do this every week without our amazing events support team who keep this monster show running efficiently and safely. Now, welcome back to our old friends who followed us from AltspaceVR to our refreshed studio here in Engage. And now, on with the show. Please welcome to the stage our hosts, Marcia, Karen, and myself, Laurel. Come on. We don't get a big sound effect with this, but we're coming in. Yay, everyone. Great to see you.
Yes, we've missed you. And
yes.
I have to find my platform. Okay.
Oh, it's so
Over
good
there.
to be back.
Over there.
Great opening. Great opening.
It is. Thank you. Now, for those of you who are new to our show, it's time for us to introduce ourselves. Karen, did you find your spot? Are you ready? You want to start?
I did, Laurel. Yes. Okay, now I can start. Thank you. Okay, so my name is Karen, and I've been co-hosting the news and updates since 2021. And I've been a moderator and a super fan since 2019. I dabble a little bit with world building, and I love helping newcomers to experience the magic of the VR community.
Oh,
Yay.
You're so good. I'm Marcia, and I stepped in as the beautiful third wheel host for news and updates last year after many years as a fan and a guest host when Karen was traveling. I'm also a kind of world builder, and I am a professional singer. I love giving concerts and helping artists find their voice and presence in social VR.
Yay. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And I'm Laurel, the co-founder and director of Educators in VR and a member of the news and updates team since 2018. I'm the oldie moldy. We have also like to highlight some of the others on the team so that you know who else to blame when we mess up.
Oh, come on, Laurel. We don't need to blame them. We take full responsibility for what we do, for our silliness.
Oh, that is so true on that one.
Yes, indeed. Oh, my goodness. We have some amazing reporters on our team, including myself and Steph. Steph, bless her for this last 2 weeks. She's been amazing. She's a world builder and quickly becoming an expert in AI, in and out of the metaverse. She brings us great stories every week and helps us to write and edit the script. And if you ever need to know about AI, she's the queen of that.
Our moderation team includes the incredible Stands with Trees,
Yay!
Karen
Yay!
666, and Ancient I Won't Say, who has also been with us since 2018, and we are so thrilled he still is here with us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Another oldie
Yay! All of us All of us are volunteers and not employees of Engage or any other platform. But we are associated with educators in VR as volunteers and community members, which means we bring a unique perspective to the news. Our perspective is one of you. We do this out of passion, our passion for social VR, and our wonderful producer, Mark.
And let's not forget his most important job,
What's that?
keeping us under control.
Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed.
We love you, Mark.
Yes.
Oh, my
Okay,
goodness.
so if you guys would like to support news and updates, please join our team. It takes a village, and we are one. Let us know after the show or in our news and updates Discord. We provide all the training. Many of our volunteers have gone on to produce their own shows over the years, and we're so proud of them.
And as they say, you don't have to be crazy to work here. Believe me, training is provided.
Truth. Our show is filmed and live streamed every Friday to YouTube and Twitch each week throughout the year, except for this time it's being filmed and then it's going to be uploaded. Aside from a few holidays, we are here every week to keep you informed and updated on this evolving industry and its thriving communities. This event is also being spatial recorded and will be rebroadcast tomorrow at same time in our News and Updates Redux event.
Marcia?
I need a refresh button. There's nothing here.
Oh, dear. Okay. Well, while she's catching up, you want to, we're going to be, there's really no excuse for missing the show.
Now you have no excuse, none excuse whatsoever for missing this show. None.
That's right. And after a delay last week due to technical difficulties, we are so thrilled to be here in Engage XR and together again after a few weeks break. So, girls, let's get on with the news.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to start with the tough stuff, okay? March 10th, 2023, AltspaceVR closed at 11 minutes after the top of the hour at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK, and 5 a.m. the next day in Sydney. Many of you were there sharing the moment with so many of us.
The AltspaceVR official Discord was locked down earlier this week, along with other supporting Discord servers. The last nails in the coffin of one of the most powerful and groundbreaking social VR platforms in many an opinion.
The AltspaceVR community continues exploring other social VR platforms as they have for years. We're finding each other everywhere, including here.
Yes, that's a really good thing. Our commitment to a better metaverse community across all platforms, one with strong moderation and traditions of respect, tolerance, and appreciation for all, will continue. What we learned and what was achieved in AltspaceVR is now also spreading out across the metaverse.
You are so right. It's going to live on in us. I love that. Now, many in the AltspaceVR community are uploading photographs and videos and more to the Internet Archive to help preserve the history of one of the oldest social VR platforms. The short link is up on the screen for bit.ly /archive donations. It's also in our news and updates announcements, so please consider sharing your memories of the platform and help us preserve its history for everyone.
We've been asked repeatedly to explain why and how AltspaceVR closed. Could this happen to another platform? It's happened to more than you would think.
AltspaceVR began in 2013 as a Silicon Valley startup to create a VR version of Second Life, an experiment built around social experiences and events. Launched in 2015 for Oculus Rift and high-end headset users in 2016, it opened up to a wider range of headsets and users around the world.
In 2017, they ran out of funding. They announced the closure of AltspaceVR. Microsoft swept in at the last minute to buy it as a boutique startup and then kind of mostly forgot about it.
To meet the criteria of the newly updated Oculus Store in 2019, some VR platforms and games closed up and never returned. AltspaceVR was determined to stay open to everyone while they optimized the avatars and platforms. This and then that thing called the pandemic lockdown changed everything.
With the platform staying open, the engineers had to be creative in how they handled the necessary updates to older code. This process caused non-compliance with new international laws requiring accessibility, privacy, security, and other user protections. This and new international laws and restrictions required a lot of money and time.
It did. The costs for compliance were tremendous. Microsoft would have shut down the platform for a year or more and employ specialized engineers to totally rewrite the code.
With their attention on the enterprise version of AltspaceVR called Microsoft Mesh, or just Mesh, which was being integrated into the mixed reality tech of Microsoft Teams, Office, and other products, the bean counters couldn't justify AltspaceVR's continued drain on finances and staff.
There are so many lessons to learn from this for every single platform. So let's look at just a few of them.
First, accessibility. Laws that require web-based apps to comply with accessibility are rarely supported in VR. Non-compliance risks fines and lawsuits.
Second, privacy and security can overwhelm a VR development team. They know from experience there is no anonymity in social VR. That's a myth.
And with the increase in users comes the increase of trolls and those determined to exploit a good thing. Developers have to plan for that, and few do until they have to.
Seriously, it gets harder and harder to have nice things.
You're so right about that. You know, honestly, the right lawsuit could easily cripple a platform financially. And who knows what else. We've already witnessed this, right? In social media and other places. It's insane.
And let's not ignore the liability risks. Who gets to be responsible when things get sticky?
Absolutely. So these are just a few of the lessons that we have learned from the closure of AltspaceVR. If a VR platform wishes to survive, compliance for security, privacy, and accessibility, and liability protections are absolutely essential. Educators in VR will be discussing this and many of these topics as they apply to so many things that we do in upcoming events, going beyond the scope of what we can cover here at News and Updates.
Well, in other news, we are saddened to hear of the death of Intel co-founder Gordon Moore, the brilliant innovator behind Moore's Law. He was 94 and one of the founding fathers of Silicon Valley and the technological revolution, according to Apple CEO Tim Cook.
Moore predicted in 1965 that as the manufacturing technology improved, component and chip sizes would shrink, leading to a statistical increase in performance and capabilities every 2 years. Thus, Moore's Law set the standard for development, innovation, and production.
It was this driving schedule that brought us to the technology many of us take for granted today, including his individual and collaborative inventions of the microchip, integrated circuits, and the founding of Intel in 1968.
Thank you, Gordon Moore, for all of your contributions to technology and your great charity throughout your lifetime. We owe you big.
That's for sure. While we were grieving, we're going to move on now to some metaverse news. While we were grieving over the closing of AltspaceVR, the second biggest bank collapse in U.S. history happened on March 8, 2023. Silicon Valley Bank announced that it needed to raise $2.25 billion US to shore up its balance sheet.
What happened instead? Customers withdrew over 42 billion deposits within a 48-hour period. They just needed
Wow.
two. They took out 42, ending the bank's 40-year life and throwing the financial and tech industries into a frenzy. The bank has been placed under receivership with the FDIC, the U.S. version of the insurance for banks.
Thank goodness. Unity, the leading virtual reality and 3D creative content platform upon which Engage XR and many platforms thrive, released a press release stating that their finances were safe, with less than 5% of their cash and cash equivalents in the bank. They did not expect a significant impact on their operations.
Other virtual reality related businesses may not have been so lucky. We're keeping an eye on the news for you. Luckily, Engage XR itself is based in Ireland and appears to not be directly impacted by companies based in the US, though the metaverse has been shaken.
With the entire tech industry trembling from downsizing and financial woes in spite of a rise in the general economy and job market, Disney announced it has closed its metaverse unit in initial layoffs.
Disney continues its expensive fight to maintain its presence in Florida as the state's governor tries to curry presidential hope through political bullying. It is extra sad for us as Disney is positioned to be a groundbreaking company in the metaverse.
On a happier note, an extra exciting project right now is the United Nations SDG competition with the SDG Metaverse Prize. Groups around the world are creating virtual world experiences tied into the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, covering a wide range of topics with solutions.
Tony Lopez, one of the leaders of the Educators in VR theater team and a longtime improv performer, actor, and technologist, represents one of the project groups addressing mental health, specifically low-level depression, stress, and empathy. They call themselves the Vital Storytellers. I love that. The Vital Storytellers. And their experience is called Color the Gray. What a great title. I love
Color
that.
in the gray. Yes,
Isn't
nice.
that beautiful?
Yes.
I love it.
Dr. Heartbeats is a doctor specializing in pediatrics, and her team, including that amazing world builder Boomer, are finishing up their incredible medical health world entry called Brainwaves, which explores wellness and prevention with a strong focus on the influence of music on our bodies, especially the nervous system. I need that. Music, please. Their interactive world narrative is amazing.
As the competition continues throughout the year, we will be highlighting more of the entries and inviting you to visit them. If you are participating, please share your submission information with us on our News and Updates Discord, and we may feature it here.
The grandmother of social VR is Second Life, which has seen a revival since the start of the pandemic. Last month, they announced an official Second Life app for iOS and Android mobile devices. We are really excited to see Second Life expand its offerings and continue to grow as it celebrates 20 years.
Wow. That's crazy. 20 years.
It is.
I love it. VR chat. VR Chat is also up in its game. The latest release of VR Chat 2023.2.1 includes native eye tracking. That is exciting. We are also offering flat screen ports for Android and iOS, and there is, though they don't have a release date set yet, so check it out.
Oh, no release date yet. Okay, we'll wait. FrameVR announced an update to their version 3.0 release a few weeks ago. They've added AI-generated skyboxes, interactive buttons to modify the properties of assets in their frame that will trigger animation or changes as part of their move to visual scripting that doesn't require coding. They've introduced a new teleport movement feature for desktop users, new frame API routes for frames to control routes, assets, members, and send chat into a frame, and more. Check it out at Frame VR.
Meta's Horizon Worlds has been playing with quests for beta users. Quests are tasks provided in worlds to earn in-game rewards like clothing, etc., to gamify your experience with the hope that the users will keep coming back for more. This type of gamification has been around for decades in all types of games, but the question is this enough to increase Horizon's user base and retention rates, which continue to fall? We will be watching.
Mm-hmm. South by Southwest, the rockinest unconference conference in the world, held in Texas, held a huge party that announced I hate NFTs, which was it last year, the year before? NEFs, is that right, Karen? Nerfs,
Yes.
NEFs, something like
Right.
that. Okay, NEFs. They announced that the world was done playing with the virtual content and it was going full tilt into virtual and AI music.
Woo! Last year, 40 panels focused on non-fungible tokens, including a popular workshop by Sam Bankman-Fried, founder, was he Fried?
Freed.
Founder of the FTX crypto exchange, now indicted for fraud, money laundering, and more. The buzz this year was on AI and how it will change art, culture, and music.
And the holograms were hot at South by Southwest this year, too, mixing real world and augmented reality. There were concerts by musicians from around the world projected into South by Southwest.
It was clear that the technology is changing theater and performances, but artists reported it strange to perform in front of an empty space to a virtual audience.
Hey, don't we do this every week?
Oh, yeah, we do. They'll learn.
They'll figure it out. You do it for a few years and you get this figured out here.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of conferences, E3 2023, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, is widely anticipated for its first in-person conference since the start of the pandemic, and it was canceled due to economic woes and continued health concerns for the LA-based conference. We were expecting great announcements on new platforms, games, and apps, so this is just another, after pandemic blow to the industry.
You might check your sound a bit, Laurel. Valve Half-Life Alyx, one of everyone's favorite games of 2020, has just announced that it can now be played without a headset in 2D with mouse and keyboard controls without a headset.
Nice. Now, for a little, is this better?
Yes.
A little bit better? Good. Okay. Now, for a little Discord news. Discord is our community back-channel communication hive, and we're excited to share with you the news that Discord has announced they're increasing the file size limit for file sharing from 8 megabytes to 25 megabytes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. What a relief.
Wow.
I'm so happy. We're really excited. And this is without paying the monthly Nitro fees. You can now add higher resolution photographs, videos, and docs, including animated GIFs. Our producer, Mark, is the king of GIFs, and he's definitely going to appreciate this. More powerful. I have a little bit of terror about what he can do with that much.
Hail to the king of GIFs.
Yes,
Hail, Mark.
So true.
And I try to battle him on that. And
Yes.
as for those classified military documents,
that's for another discussion.
It's in the
not
news.
Responsible for that. Yes, I know, but they were not responsible. Human beings, you give them an inch, they take a fortress. Discord is rolling out this new feature slowly across different regions, so get ready for it. Let's look at some of our, it's our favorite thing. We love talking about the hardware.
Yes.
Quest VR headsets. Updated to the version 50 firmware update allows you now to switch between controller and hand tracking. I did this. I worked on this week. If you double tap the controllers together, it switches between hand and controller. Yeah, It's beautiful. I love that. Now we just need more apps that will support hands. You just set down the controllers to use your hand. You pick them up. They switch right back into controller tracking.
Now that's handy.
Oh no!
Well,
You had to go there. You had to go there now.
have to
Marsha.
do that. Have to do that.
Okay, let's go on to some Meta news here. So, Meta has also added a new direct touch setting in the experimental features that allows you to interact with the Quest interface by touching it with your finger like a phone or tablet.
Mm.
It's weird. It's weird, but it works.
Okay.
Now, MetaQuest version 51 is on the way, and it is in the hands of early access users. The update includes Android 12L from 13. It's going up. The local dimming support for Quest Pro headsets is coming, and there's a suggestion of performance improvements. We hope so. Version 51 is due out June 30th, and the update will be for Quest 2, not Quest 1, because the headset is reaching end of life, and we'll have more news on that next week. The Quest 3 headset continues to be promoted as being released in the fall. We'll see what happens.
In the fall. I know that's going to tie into some other news coming up. Mix News reports that a new beta update for Steam VR and Valve's Next VR headset could support eye tracking. Anyone here have a Valve headset? Waggle your heads or shoot up emojis.
Shoot up emojis.
Or shoot up
Raise my hand
emojis.
if you're up there.
Yeah, try not to press that right click button.
No, I know a couple people who do. Yeah.
Waggle your heads or shoot up emojis from your wrist, or using a keyboard on your PC using the F key shows you all your emoji numbers. That's interesting, folks.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Well,
yeah.
The next headset source code suggests that eye tracking is coming. Eye tracking in enabled apps allows avatars to look in the same direction and interact with the scene and interfaces with the eyes, expanding the possibilities. Wow.
Oh, yay. All right. We also, so many of you in the US and North America are waiting anxiously for the Pico 4. And at the GDC conference in San Francisco, Pico Interactive hosted a huge booth promoting their journey to infinity. The Verge now reports that Pico has once again delayed their release in the US due to increased pressure from US lawmakers on their sister city, TikTok, highlighted last week, 2 weeks ago, by hours and hours of testimony before Congress.
However, we just heard from a trusted source that Pico 4 is available at Walmart in the States. Check out your local Walmart, everybody.
I'm going to run down there and get the blue light special. Pico remains the biggest competitor to Facebook Meta's Quest line, and internationally, the Pico 4 is a popular headset with newer features and functions. We're waiting and watching with the rest of you. So curious about the Pico 4.
All right, now we're on to some world-building news. And in March, Unity's new updates were the talk of the town at the Game Developers Conference known as the GDC. AltspaceVR embraced the URP, the Universal Render Pipeline, in 2021, but most metaverse platforms have not caught up and likely won't for a while. The newest version of the URP is HDRP, High Definition Render Pipeline. So cool.
Yep. Among its many capabilities, it includes a hair shader that makes hair and fur even more realistic for high fidelity light and anti-aliasing. Unity announced that they were working on the hair and fur rasterizer in version 2023.1, likely following the news of Blender's new hair features.
Unity is also bringing multiplayer management that supports cross-platform gaming as part of their support of WebGL for Relay, along with performance and improved build times.
And one of the most exciting features to come out of that are coming to Unity are improvements in the editor for a variety of disabilities, including checklists, colorblind support, low vision, for more accessible game design and development. We need more of that, without a doubt.
If you haven't, take the Unity Learn course on practical game accessibility. It is currently free and should be a requirement for all game and VR developers.
And while you're at it, don't forget that Unity continues to offer Unity Learn online workshops for free with over 700 hours of content to help you learn the intricacies of world building.
Now, the Unity conference also showcased the latest new tool sets that were acquired from Weta and Ziva that will make Unity even easier to use and more accessible in real time, allowing artists to really drive forward amazing artwork, games, and more. Weta Digital was the VFX company behind movies like Avatar, Wonder Woman, Lord of the Rings, and King Kong, so they know what they do.
Oh, yeah.
Ziva's digital humans and real-time animation matching was used in Hellblade, Godzilla vs. Kong, and other anime, bringing physics-based character simulation to everyone. While this is ideal for video games and VR apps, it's a long way from what we can do on most Unity-based platforms, but it is a start.
Mm-hmm. Now, Unity was also released their 2023 and beyond roadmaps for a variety of projects and branches at GDC. We shared the link in our World Building News in our Discord channel for news and updates called World Building News. And a few highlights include a new graphic rendering system, VFX features, automatic lens flares, on shiny objects and surfaces, with a new 6-way lighting system to make fire, smoke, and explosions even more realistic.
Ooh. They are working on adaptive probe volumes and lighting improvements, better vegetation modeling, better faces, and so much more. Exciting year for world builders, I'll tell you. We're looking forward to more social VR platforms embracing newer versions of Unity so we can take advantage of all these goodies.
And drum roll, Blender 3.5 is out, and wow.
Oh, first there's hair, here, there, and everywhere. I'm like drowning in hair here.
Drowning in hair.
I know it, but it's everywhere. The new release of Blender is all about the hair, but it is more than just the hair. Hair nodes allow greater customization and highlighting than ever before.
Hair, like ear hair or nose hair or just hair hair.
All of them.
It also
All of the
introduces the it also introduces the Essentials asset library with 26 hair assets split into different categories for deformation, generation, guides, utility, etc. to embrace the power within.
There's also a hair curve generator, the ability to duplicate hair curves, braid curves, frizz curves, and more things you can do with hair. Honestly, it's like Blender unleashed the hair and fur monsters for all of us.
There is so much hair in the news update. It's hard to find the other goodies, but we did. This is a taste of the new modernized controls for labor saving, drag and drop application of features coming to Blender. There is now support for vector displacement maps with brushes added to the draw brush in sculpt mode from the viewport.
So awesome. Viewport. Yes. This modularization modularization. Oh my goodness, now it's my turn. Modularization controls are part of the new FPU-based compositor backend for the 3D viewpoint. Oh my goodness, viewport. It was you right to begin with. It is honestly, see, it takes very little for us to go completely off track here. And I want to quote the famous comedians at Rented Lips. Okay, so this compositor backend for the 3D viewport is honestly revolutionary. It's still in development, but it allows what everybody wants, that front end editing. You can edit through the layers rather than each layer individually. That is huge.
Yes.
That is huge. There are also improvements to lighting effects and placement, flexible spotlights to support non-uniform object scales, area spread lighting, and even more.
Now, we don't have time to go into all of these different things. Sorry. But all the improvements and the new features coming out in Blender, we share the link on our News and Updates Discord. Go check it out because it is groundbreaking stuff. So now is the time. Are you ready, Marcia? Your favorite
I'm ready for the fun stuff. Yay! I like the fun stuff. Boy, we need to lighten our hearts. You know you've missed us and your favorite part of the show. And this is where we go a little bit off topic and remind you that the world around us, to put it simply, is crazy. So now it's time for the fun stuff.
Yay!
Yay!
Here we go.
All
The
right.
2023, and Laurel, help me out here if I mispronounce this.
Simmies.
The 2023 Simmies Awards were announced last week, and the winner is amazing. Oh, haven't you heard about the Simmies?
No.
The Simmies, I'm learning too, the Simmies are the infamous palindromes competition. A palindrome is a word or phrase that is the same spelled forward and backward, such as Simmies, Symmmys.
Ah, like the famous Madam, I Madam.
Exactly. Sometimes they don't make much sense, like to layer a chair, amp up Maria Carey a lot. Mariah Carey. Oh,
This takes way
Mariah
too much
Carey.
work to figure out. Way too
Yeah,
much.
it does. Yeah.
I absolutely, for my little pea brain. So this year's first place in the category for short palindromes was by Anthony Etherin. Pull a bat up, pull a ball up.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
that took me a
Pull a
minute.
bat up.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I said pull a bat up, put a ball up. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and you read it backwards and it, yeah.
Okay.
I got it.
Yeah, it took me a little while. This year's visual palindrome winner is even more amazing and one of the hardest we've ever seen. It's by Lori White. It reads...
Are you ready for this? On the psychology. So here it is. On the psychology of roller coasters. Deep spun upset, a torpor dips. Agile vertebrae oscillate manipulative lap bar. Glee, ride pools, track carts looped, I reel. Grab pale, vital up in a metallic soar. Bet revel, I gasp, I drop. Rotate, spun up, speed. If you read it backwards, it reads the same. It's just crazy.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
Anyway,
If you read it backwards, it says the same thing. Now that's impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it starts with the deep spun is where it starts, not with on the psychology of. It starts with deep spun upset, and then when you go down to the bottom, it's where it goes speed up, spun, rotate. You go backwards. It's
wow. Okay, I have to wrap my head around that. I have to read that a few times. That's okay. Anyway, we'll have some more fun stuff for you guys on our News and Updates Discord and in next week's show.
Yay.
Mm.
Now we're on to some events. We got some great event things coming up for you. First of all, how many of you went to Fat Boy Slim's Eat Sleep VR Repeat here in Engage XR? If you didn't go, you missed out on the most amazing metaverse extravaganza. Engage literally pulled out every stop, blowing minds in every direction through this. I don't know what to call it. I'm lacking words.
Psychedelic.
It's psychedelic mushroom trip. Is kind of what it felt like, from a desert diner to rocking out at a concert in a rolling caravan dance party, to roller coaster rides, to parachuting with chocolate chip cookies falling through.
Oh, yeah. Get this, even riding on cockroaches in the same diner, but from a new, smaller perspective.
It was actually, that was really fun. It was bizarre. The virtual conference was truly the best experience. It had to be experienced in VR on PCVR headsets or one of the newer standalone headsets such as the Quest 2. It didn't support mobile devices and standalone headsets released prior to 2020 because they were using state-of-the-art amazing technology to do this. And trust us, it's a monster download. They provided entertainment while waiting for the download, which was a very good idea. And then the show started. Really, really hope that Engage offers this again, because it was truly amazing just to experiencing it. I still have a headache from it, but it's worth seeing. It shows up in my nightmares. It's pretty darn cool.
Well, the Metaverse Fashion Week was the last week of March in Decentraland. Hopes were high for the event's success after struggling for the past couple of years. Over 60 brands, artists, and designers took part, with a broad variety of luxury, premium, and high street participants at the ready. The focus was both on digital and physical crossovers and cross-metaverse initiatives to expand the event's experience for Fashion Month.
Last year, an estimated 108,000 people visited the multi-site event. This year, Web3 Industry News reported attendance was 26,000. This, in spite of the powerful draws of brands like Dolce and Gabbana and Tommy Hilfiger.
While there's debate about why the event had poor audience attendance, some news sources reported that it could be due to the continued lack of interest in Decentraland, with some reports stating that an average of under 40 visitors a day in Decentraland, combined with a 50% loss in property rates. Decentraland is still a powerful platform with great potential and market reach, so we hope this downturn is temporary.
This weekend is Laval Virtual. I think that's French, right? Yeah. Now split between the Metaverse in Verbella and the Real World event in France that brings together technologists and futurists from around the world, especially in Europe, to explore its potential. We're eagerly waiting for the special news announcements that often come from Laval.
AWE, the Augmented World Expo, is scheduled to be in San Francisco May 31st through June 2nd. And metaverse companies from around the world will be there. Currently, very little is actually done with the conference in the metaverse, as they use the Hopin conferencing platform. Is it Hopin or Hopin?
Yeah, no, you said it right.
Hopin conferencing platform for their online events. But we'll be keeping an eye out for watch parties and any special events that come from this.
We are so excited about the Symphony for the Metaverse art and music series in Mozilla Hubs throughout the fall. Curated by George Vitale, you may visit the artwork displays in a vertical gallery of containers with worlds set up by individual artists as spaces within spaces. It's a wonderful effect. The free exhibit and musical performances include special tours and events throughout the year. So check out the information on Mozilla Hub's website and in our News and Updates Discord new VR events channel.
Now, here in Engage, Wednesday is the live metaverse talk show with special guest Doug Ahulin, technology and innovation advisor. He spent 33 years working for Nokia, Motorola in strategy, business development, account management, engineering, and focuses on a wide variety of sustainability and energy and connectivity, telehealth, and educational projects. He's been a guest on Educators in VR interview programs and continues to work with them and the Virtual World Society.
He was also one of the leaders helping to develop the Story Trails project during the Unboxed Festival in the UK last summer, which integrated historical photographs and films with real-world locations across the country. Check out the interview with Doug and Maxwell McGee on Wednesday.
There are new events, activities, and updates from across the metaverse available on our News and Updates Discord every week. And we invite you to share your event and news you find around social VR and the metaverse with us.
Mm-hmm.
Share your events and news channels.
Thank you so much for joining us since 2018, and thank you for continuing the journey on our new platform on EngageXR Live. We apologize for the technical difficulties that our first show back is causing, but we're going to get our act together, and next week it's going to be amazing. We film the show live on Fridays and repeat it Saturday with a spatial recording, and it has been an honor and a privilege to keep you posted on what's happening in the metaverse.
Our YouTube channel is an ongoing time capsule of the history of the metaverse and social VR. You may watch our live show every week or check it out and subscribe to past episodes on your YouTube. While you're at it, swing into our News and Updates Discord to keep up with news announcements we make throughout the week.
We'd like to thank all of the professional and citizen reporters around the world who do a lot of the legwork for all of us. Please visit Road to VR, Wired, Verge, Mixed News, Forbes, Business Insider, Ryan Schultz, Upload VR, Scout VR, and so many more for more in-depth information. It's their stories that we scour every week to bring you at least a summary of all the goings-on here in the metaverse.
We are volunteers and community members, not Engage XR employees. We do this for you for free, although one day I'm going to get paid, to help you be better informed. If you would like to become involved as a volunteer, please let us know. We'd love the help. And this has been and this has long been a training ground for others who've gone on to doing their own shows and events.
We'd like to thank the EngageXR platform for helping us make this our new home base. Again, thank you to all our faithful team of reporters, moderators, and event support. And most of all, thank you to our amazing producer, Mark, who puts up with too much nonsense from all of us and keeps us going. We love the faith and the trust that he has in us.
We will be hanging around the show afterwards to talk to all of you, you live audience members. So don't go anywhere.
And as we say every week, stand tough, stand up, and most of all, in these uncertain times, please be safe wherever you are in the world.
Yay!
Yay!
Love the amazing Dance with Trees. We did a thing. We did a thing.